Sanbonani, Dumelang, Abusheni. Hello, how are you? Everybody and everyone in between, the world at large, guys. Welcome to the final episode of season 1 of Maddy on Everything, guys. Not the final episode forever, no, just of season 1. And that is episode 10. Welcome one, welcome all, guys. It's been an amazing journey. And I'm very, very excited to deliver this episode for you guys. So, you know what? Without further ado, welcome to Maddy on Everything, Season 1, Episode 10. Whoop, whoop! Yay, guys. Okay, guys. So, today is a special one. It's a special one for me because, you know, guys, it's been a journey, right, with the podcast. And, you know, we've done, it's been a journey of personal growth for me. And I think that today, people, this season finale will be a good culmination of what I think this podcast has been for me personally. And, I think, you know, other people might be able to relate. So it's a special one for me, guys. Today, I am joined by a guest. You guys know how I love having guests. So, you know, because most of the time, sometimes I'm alone. And it's fine. I like to do the alone content, but I would prefer to have guests. So, guys, if you want to come onto the podcast, let me know. Okay, I'm going to create an email so that you can actually, let me know, right, if you want to come through. Because I really enjoy having people. So today, guys, I have a very wonderful guest with us today, guys. She is the founder and managing director of Lekoko Advisory Services with over 16 years of experience in forensic investigations, fraud risk management, and ethics. So, you know, for all my peoples, they be wondering, what is this episode going to be about? Because it's Maddy on Everything. So this one, for all my business people, for all my entrepreneurs, for all my ladies, for all my gentlemen, you know, wanting to do their own thing and wanting to get their mind right as well. So there's also going to be that, you know, psychological kind of, you know, just so that you know what to expect in the episode, right? So we're also going to be working with the mind and the spirit today, okay? So today, my guest, as I was saying, she's a certified fraud examiner with a BCom in accounting and several postgraduate qualifications. She's held senior roles, including partner at one of the big 4 firms and business unit leader at the Auditor General of South Africa. Guys, can we add claps at this point? Zva, you know, he's my editor. He's going to add claps here. You're going to add claps. Okay, cool. Boitumelo, I hadn't even said her name yet, is not only a seasoned leader in her field, but also a dynamic panelist because, guys, that is where I met her. She was actually on a panel when I met her, okay? So you guys need to understand. And guest lecturer at the University of Pretoria. Can I get some clicks up in this? What? Y'all need to understand, what we're working with today, okay? She serves on boards as an independent committee member. So listen, guys, powerful, heavyweight, none to be played with, okay? Passionate about seeing people transforming into healed versions of themselves. Empowerment, especially for young women. Look at me. She's on my podcast today. And community upliftment through assisting young people to find job or entrepreneurial opportunities where she can. She recently graduated from the executive leadership course through Wits Business School. Hey, you know, Witsies Unite, Witsies for Life, was recently featured in an Australian-based blog, the Women of Color Founders Network. She is a female founder of Color, y'all. She has been profile interviewed on Radio 702, The Money Show, Hope, Alive Online Radio, and podcast. She lives by the mantra, keep becoming, never arrive. Guys, can you please help me bring a big round of applause for Miss Boitumelo Lekoko? Wow. Powerful.
Thank you.
If I had roses, I'd be throwing them onto you right now.
And I would welcome them.
I would be like going, rah, rah, rah.
Thank you. Let me start off with saying hello.
Hi,
Hello,
how
everyone.
are you?
And morning to you.
Thank
or is it
you.
afternoon? Yes, it's afternoon already.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Zama, for your gracious invite to your pod. And thank you for that warm introduction and warm welcome. I really do feel very well welcomed.
Yeah.
And
thank
I'm
you.
thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to have a conversation that needs to be had.
Exactly.
Yes.
We need to have this conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So tell me about what okay, because I know we're gonna get deep. So we're gonna have a conversation that needs to be had. But tell me, why are you saying this conversation needs to be had before we even have the conversation? I just like the people don't really even know what we're saying, right? We're getting there. But why do you think the conversation needs to be had?
So this conversation, it's one about what we try to run away from, what we try to avoid, and also what we neglect the most. And this is ourselves. I believe that there is a power in knowing who you are, in finding yourself, and in really operating within your purpose, because each and every one of us have got that. But we spend so much of our time fighting for people, fighting for things, fighting for relationships. We're trying to fill a certain void, but unfortunately we can run, but we can never outrun ourselves. So really today I want to encourage, and if my story can encourage anybody to get back in line, because it's only you can go to the finish line.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I am very excited to get into that. So I think that really gives the audience and everyone listening and watching a good idea of what to expect.
Yes.
And I think it becomes very important because I want to lead with, the business aspect. And I think we're going to get there in terms of what this culmination of the conversation is leading to. But from a business perspective, entrepreneurs, a lot of the time in this journey of entrepreneurship, I want to know about your journey, but what I'm coming from based on what you just said is that oftentimes in this journey of entrepreneurship, you are met with so many challenges. And I think that's what keeps people stuck from not trying, right? Because in this very season, I've had, how to enter into your boss mode era, because I think sometimes people want to become entrepreneurs, but they have fear, So there's a lot of inner work that people are running away from, I think. And we're just focusing on the outside, like the aesthetic, the pretty. We want results.
Surface level,
exactly. So
yeah.
Please tell me a little bit more about your journey as, the founder and owner of Lekoko Advisory. How did that come about? How did it be that you decided that you're going to open a business?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, I think you said we'll get deeper later, but it's already going to get deep.
It's getting deep already, yeah.
So
the conversation will flow.
With my business, you read out my bio in terms of where I come from. I've had really great corporate trajectory. I can say that I had really great success from a corporate perspective.
Yes.
So when I left my previous job, I didn't leave going into business. I was actually going into another role. I had been headhunted to go into another role.
Yes.
And I was very excited about it.
So all of the ladies who keep getting headhunted. Yes.
So that was the point. And when I resigned, I had not finalized where I was going. It was still in very much negotiation stages, but I knew that I had to leave where I was because there was something bigger. I felt that there's something bigger waiting for me somewhere else.
Okay.
I then got to a point where, to cut the long story, to cut that long story short, I ended up not going where I was supposed to go, because I took a month. So how I actually planned it, I resigned a month before I would actually have to start at the other place, although we're still finalizing the finer details, because I said, I need a break. I've never taken a break.
Yes.
I'm just going to give myself a month.
Give yourself some time before you now jump into this new role.
Little did I know that in that month, so much would change. so much in my personal life. I experienced losses. I experienced grief. I experienced, and I was also grieving my old self. Because in that process, as I was trying to get into that other role,
Yes.
I realized that no, I can't go there anymore.
What?
I realized that
That is, like you said, that's powerful.
So at that point, I realized that,
and you can't really explain, right, what it was.
Yes, you can't really
and that's
explain.
the part that I need people to understand, is that what Ms. Boitumelo is talking about.
Yes.
She says it cannot be explained. She is saying that, okay, this was my plan.
That was my plan. And my plan was making so much of sense.
And we
That's
need to
why I even said I'll take a break. And then by the time I start there, I'm starting fresh, only to find that in that period, and because I'm a woman of faith, I believe in God.
We may plan, but God decides.
Yes. And that was at the time when now I found myself in an isolation period. My phone stopped ringing completely. My phone was dry, emails were dry. And those guys that I was supposed to now join, because I was now, my eyes were much more open in terms of asking questions. Okay, but what's going to happen with this? What's going to happen with that? So the conversation started to just sort of like drift apart. And that's when I realized that I'm no longer going to go there. But now the question was, what am I going to do? Here I am. I left the job. I thought I was going into a different role, and this role was for me to head up. Was to head up the investigations in Cape Town and in Joburg. So it was a much bigger role, and I felt like it's now going to be a step, an elevation in my career. But now I felt like now I'm falling. Like they talk about the fallen angels.
Yes.
I am falling, and in that period, today, I thank God for that pain. I thank God for that, for the experience, for the rejection, for the no. The door that was closed opened much more bigger doors.
The rejection.
Yeah.
You just said the door that was closed opened much bigger doors. Wow. That is powerful for me.
So that was really...
And I can relate. I can relate on many levels.
And people will say, but how can you leave such a great job? How can you leave all that income? How can you? I could maybe go back and ask that, please, can I have my job back? I don't know. Maybe I could have, but that was not even an option in my spirit.
At that time, right?
At that time. Like, no. But at that point, I didn't even know what I was going to do. Everyone was calling me, oh, where are you going? What are you going to do? And I just said, all I know is that I'm going somewhere.
Can I please tell you, today I want to share, because this is also part of the journey. In my own journey of entrepreneurship, a similar thing happened to me. I have previously spoken on the podcast to say I had, worked in formal employment, trying to push my law firm while I was, getting income from other jobs. Do you get what I mean? Treating my law firm as a side hustle. And the last job that I worked, where it was a firm of attorneys, and a similar thing happened. My spirit started being very, very angry.
Rejecting.
Like rejecting the space, rejecting the environment, and also the environment itself. People started being very mean to me. People started like things were normal before, but all of a sudden you walk in, you greet, and it was a small office. You greet, co-workers don't respond or acknowledge you. And there was also those other dynamics, because I was working with, the other people of our country. You know what I mean? So there were those dynamics as well. And I was like alone pretty much. Do you get what I mean? So outside of those dynamics, because we're talking about the pushing, I left without a plan, without a job. I was pushed. And exactly what you said, it's just that because you said something, it triggered my thinking that last year I kept saying to people, what would make you, who would leave their job?
Yes.
Who would leave
in this economy?
Like, it doesn't make sense. Do you get what I mean? Like, who would leave a stable job where they know they're going to get money So it was because I had to be obedient to God. God said I should leave, basically. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to say to everyone. God, the universe said, leave.
Leave.
So I quit. And I had an idea of what I was going to do, but it wasn't set in stone.
Yeah.
But I had to leave.
Sure.
So when you speak about, I couldn't go back.
You can't.
I understand when you say my spirit, when people are saying, why wouldn't it? But you're saying, I couldn't.
Yeah. When it's time, it's time. And it gets to a point where whether you like it or not, you have to step into that unknown platform.
It sets it up that way.
And that unknown platform, it's where everything now, the process of becoming.
Yes.
At that point, you don't know. Now we can sit here and talk about it. And, what I like about this whole thing is there's a blueprint that we are sharing with everybody else. And that's what I always tell people, that when you are going through something, there is no honor in you saying, why is this happening to me? Why couldn't it happen to another person? Use that opportunity to gather the data, the insights, and the intellect that you are now able to say, oh, that happened because of that situation. And this happened. Start asking the right questions when you're going through the unknown. Ask yourself, what am I supposed to be learning out of this? Experience. What should I get out of this? You cannot leave that situation with nothing.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful, very powerful what you're saying, because I think that if more people understood that, then we would have more people conquering your depressions, your anxieties, and your self-limiting beliefs within the entrepreneurship and all of that.
That's true. That's true.
Where sometimes you feel stuck, you're in a place, for example, a job you don't like, and you know it. And you know that you need to move. You feel it.
Your spirit tells you when you're sitting by yourself, when you wake up in the morning, you know it. There are times when you can be in a space, or like you said, maybe a job. And you can still have a sense of, I don't want to be there. But then you can still drive. Yeah. But there comes a time when you hit the wall. And when you hit that wall, it is time for you to really leave.
I get you.
And we're not saying that people need to make irresponsible decisions. Have a plan. I always say, have a plan. You had a sense of what you can do. I had a sense of what I can do, because where the role that I was going to go into, I already had clients that had already were telling me that we need this work. And I said I was going to walk with business into that role. Then in my mind, I said, if I can walk into a business, this business just needs a building. Why don't I provide myself with that building? Why don't I provide myself with that chair, with that seat, with that table? So let me just create it for myself.
Create the table. Bring the chairs to the table. You invite people to your table.
Yes.
Trying to go to other tables. Make your table. And that's my thing, though. Can I tell you, that's another chat, because I love that. Like, I love that beautiful response. Thank you. Is, sometimes I have like legal friends,
Yeah.
And, like we'll be like on LinkedIn, and I'm like checking them out on LinkedIn. And look, guys, I hope people don't come for me for this one. You know what I'm saying? But, what they will be doing, or what will be happening, it's a bit twofold. They will be, critiquing or commenting on these historically white firms where I've worked, because, guys, in South Africa, whatever, we'll have maybe the top 5 law firms. As Boitumelo has worked at the top 5 accounting firms, or big 4. We also have big 5 in the legal space, which is where I did my articles at one of the big 5. So because they're historically white-owned firms, and because law in South Africa, for example, is historically, it's been a white profession, and lacking transformation. When we come as sort of this new generation post 1994, we getting into these law firms. We are some of the first kind of black people, not first, but the first kind of black people to start working in these, historically white firms. And, as black people, we coming through with, hey, you guys are only hiring 2 directors. There's no transformation that's happening here. Hey, but my thing is, this was not created for you. It's the same thing with the economy. Do you get what I mean? Where people are like saying, okay, there's no jobs. The structure of the South African economy was not created to fit all the lawyers, doctors, all these accountants that are graduating right now. Ms. Boitumelo, what you're talking about becomes critical to say, stop whining about what they are not transforming. Transform.
Yeah. You've got the power to transform. We've been given education and
exactly learn. I learned. You learned something, but now I'm gonna fight you, fight the whole you. Like, no, let me in. There's not enough black people in your firms that you started. I know my politics is a bit controversial, but I'm saying as black people, why are you fighting them? Start your own thing. Don't you have rights now?
Yes.
Don't you?
And the other thing is, under those circumstances, you might find that yes, the transformation happens.
Yeah.
But what is the intent? Is it for the sake of, okay, you see, we've given, people of color,
which is what they're saying. They're saying that's what it is. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying it is.
You find that you'll be given a seat at that table. Those tables are you need to approach them very, very careful. You get a seat at that table, but it might not be your pattern. It might not be your design. It might not be the kind of table that is going to appreciate the kind of skills that might not even demand the skills that you want to put on the table. So you come prepared to the table. You come prepared. You come with the education.
I said there was going to be impact today.
But you find that really where you are, there is that lack. And you find that even if I tried, really, this table and this seat was never meant for me.
Yeah.
But that takes a lot. I've been in this industry for 16 years. It took me 16 years to get that. 16 years. Because other than
you had to satisfy yourself.
Yes, and it was making sense because I'm growing my career. Everything is going well. And like I said, with my career is one of the blessings in my life. And even at the time when I did not even have a relationship with God like I have now, because entrepreneurship will bring you very close to God. It'll keep you to your knees.
Amen, sister.
Because you wake up to the unknown. You don't know where your next... Yes, you might have a pipeline, forecast, and etc.
Amen.
But it might just not work out. So...
I need people to understand that part as well.
I feel like
people understand that too? Entrepreneurship is spiritual.
It is. God will put you there because He knows that this one, if I get her out of entrepreneurship, I want to give you all the success, but your success are going to come from your knees. It's going to come from your prayer. It's going to come from your altar.
I see what you're saying.
What kind of altar do you have?
Sometimes they call you to entrepreneurship, and then that entrepreneurship, like you're saying, God is the one that makes you stronger with God. And I agree. I've seen it too. I've seen it because you really have to have faith, and you get so many people who let you down. You see, that's another thing about the whole thing.
That's another thing. Yeah.
And I think now we're going to go into that part now when you want to, I think, we've spoken about, I think the business tips, if people are really listening, they should
those
be.
Those with ears will hear.
Yeah, those with ears will hear. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So, like you're saying, as I was saying, it gets tough. People let you down in entrepreneurship. And I think one of the things that you were mentioning earlier is that, are you strong enough to handle that? And, being one with yourself, I think, is one of the ways that you need to gain the strength to handle those things. And then, do you get what I mean?
Yeah. So when we're talking about, when I say, you need to get back to yourself, so that because you are the only one that can take you to the finish lane. That means that you're going to have to fight for yourself. The reason why you have to fight for yourself.
I get that. Like when people let you down and everything, I just want to go on that trajectory to say when you're getting them let downs and all those things, you can't rely. You need to learn onto... and we're not saying also, it's a deeper message to say, we're not saying just rely on yourself. If people can understand that we're saying, but ultimately it's like, I'm not going to say, yo, Boitumelo Boitumelo could have not made it to the podcast today. So, we were just saying that, it's not just necessarily you by yourself, right? That's what I just also want to clarify for people, to say it's not to necessarily say you are on your own. I want to say also rely on God, spiritual practices, all of that. But what we're wanting to say is that your relationship with yourself, including all these other things that you do, praying, to strengthen your relationship with yourself. Because as I was saying, when you have the letdowns, when the contracts fall through, when, they say, when they don't pick up the phone anymore, you'll easily give up.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
So now, as you were saying, there's a powerful concept that you were talking to me now, saying now coming one to yourself, because there's a lot of things that are pulling us away from ourselves.
That's true. So, and I like to build on what you just said there. As an entrepreneur, or as a person that's really in this journey of saying, who am I? What am I for? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Because that was the question that I asked myself so many times throughout my career. Who am I? What am I meant to do? And I thought it would come with an answer of, oh, you're supposed to be a teacher. You're supposed to be this. But it comes in terms of revealing your purpose. Because your purpose might be attached to your day-to-day.
Yeah.
What's happening with me, that's what it did. It shifted me more to my purpose. But maybe let me pause on that a little bit. What I wanted to get into is that you need community. You can't do it by yourself. There's power in collaboration. And it's one of the things that for me this year, having started my business for a year, I'm now in that space of, okay, let's collaborate. Now that I'm sort of like finding myself, there's power in collaboration. You can never do it alone. You need a community. A community can be spiritual, it can be environmental, cultural, any other way. So you do need a community. So when talking about finding yourself, because you as a person, you've got a purpose, you've got a mission, and you've got an assignment attached to you, usually you have to fight for that. It doesn't come for free. It might come in where you realize that, okay, I'm meant to go out and heal people. And it doesn't matter whether it's going to be through a doctor, through you being on a mic and talking to people and encouraging them. There are people that when they open their mouth, people just get healed.
Yes.
There are people that are so good with listening and that their listening ability is able to translate messages in a certain way. There are people that can speak. There are people that can write. So when we talk about the purposes, we're talking about those things. You need to fight for those things. And that is where I came into the concept of going to war with yourself to get through to you. So you're going to have to do that. And that takes what? Surrender. That takes humility. You have to kill your ego. You have to kill your pride. You have to kill unforgiveness. You have to kill this thing. And I always say, people say that, you pray, you want certain things in your life, but you keep on saying, oh, I don't like people. I don't get along with people. And
they love that one.
Yes. I'm a loner. I would. And you know what?
And I've also had it sometimes. Hey,
that is an attack.
I'm telling you, and I'm an extroverted person, right? I'm an extroverted person, right? And I've had to but I'm also have my introverted moments, and I have an introverted side to me.
Yes.
And I think what people need to also understand, what I've learned to maybe understand through my journey, is to say, no, it's not that I don't like people. I don't like certain energies within certain people.
Yes. But
do you understand?
You have to guard against that.
It's not that I don't like people. And then also, it's not that I don't like people. I just sometimes need moments of solitude to recharge my battery.
That's important.
Do you get what I mean? But
That's
now you're
important.
out here saying, oh, I don't even like people.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. You know, to say, how is that because contributing to you progressing in life?
One of the blockages to success is ego. If you can kill your ego as a human being, you've won the race. A lot of people have got this ego, they've become God unto themselves. What ego does is that it makes you God into your own life.
What?
So
That's
when
deep,
you
man.
are God into your life, because remember,
I love that. That's so deep.
You think you're better than anyone.
Yeah, you think
you're the
everything.
most good-looking person. You think you're the only one that needs to be chosen. You don't believe that other people deserve good things in their lives. You become jealous when they've got all these good things happening to them. There are people that can't even say congratulations to other people. Instead of congratulations, it's like, oh yeah, I wanted to do that. It's just that I didn't venture into that. Oh, you look nice, but you know what? I don't really like pink. I like green.
Yes.
Those things, what I wanted to get at is you are praying, you want certain things. How do you think God answers prayers? Through people that you say you don't like. And you wonder why you're not progressing in your life. Because who's gonna be your destiny helper? Who's gonna be your destiny sustainer? Who's gonna be in your corner?
Sustainer.
So you
Ding,
get
ding, ding.
to a point where you're like, okay, my life is not progressing, but what I like about going into war with yourself to get through to you is that you kill those things, offload those things off you. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of introspection. It takes a lot of looking deeper into yourself and say, everyone in my life that I've left, what was the reason? What was the cause? Everything in my life that I have lost, what was the reason? What was the cause? And then you start asking yourself, what is it that I need to do better as a person?
I get you.
And we have to be honest. There was a time when I sat and I was honest with myself and I say, actually, most of the things had been me. And if you have to even say, hey, you know what, I've got a heart of a Satan, then say it.
Yeah,
accept it. Like, and really, you need to be honest with yourself about that. Because how are you expecting that things that are centered around love? Remember, when it comes to answering of prayers, that's God's love. God is love. You want things that are centered around love, but you can't even give love. You can't even give it to yourself.
Exactly.
You keep on chasing things. You keep on chasing people. You are in this job. You know you're not supposed to be there. You know that there's an opportunity somewhere else that can take you out.
Okay.
You understand? So instead of trying to fill that void, because you will have a void. We spoke about when you started having a void, you feel that people are not feeling me in this place. And the more you try to fill the void, the more it's going to get bigger and bigger. And unfortunately, you cannot run yourself. It's always going to try and get to you. And I realized that it's also an age thing sometimes. People say, I'm still young for me to know my purpose. I'm still young for me to get into all these things. When the time comes, you will know.
I get
Others
you.
it comes early, others it comes later, others it comes where they can really say, I can put the picture back. With me, how I actually discovered my purpose, it was when it became now a full picture. I could sketch it from the time I was 6 years old. It makes sense where I am right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hear you. I have a couple of questions because you have some powerful insights. So my one thing is like, how do you balance, like you're saying, okay, because they say there's a lot of the blockages, like you said, when you look at your life and you look at the circumstances of your life, you notice, Hori, a lot of the things that didn't go right or whatever, it's me, right? But at the same time, how do you balance letting go and dismantling of your ego as well as having boundaries?
Yes.
Because I feel like it's a delicate one. I'm feeling you. I feel what you're saying. And this is my question to you.
It's really, I believe
how do I show up as my most authentic, loving self to people who spit at me or make me feel a certain way?
You focus on your assignment. That's very important. You focus on the mandate of the things that you're supposed to do as it relates to that person. If you can focus on that,
I hear you.
I'll give you an example.
I hear you.
You know, there could be a client that does not just get along with me. I don't know, their spirit repels me. One day they're cold, one day they're hot.
Yes.
But I'm focusing on my mandate. My mandate for this particular person, it's this. And I'm going to fulfill that and I'm going to do that. And you also have to, because even remember in the middle of that, in the middle of the whole thing of you saying, I need to show up as my most authentic self, but then I know me and this person, this thing.
Tiki.
Kill your ego even in that, because that can also be an ego thing.
Yes.
That, anyway, why should I do this? put love and kindness at the center of everything.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
You really do. And sometimes you look stupid and crazy doing it, right? Because people think you're Popeye. I've been on this wave.
But you're going to sleep well at night.
But like, sometimes I feel away. I don't want to lie. I feel away sometimes where I'm just like, you guys think I'm dumb or something. Because sometimes when you're so nice to people, sometimes people don't actually think that you can see, be like, and especially when you're maybe like a certain type of person, an anointed person, a chosen person, a light worker, whatever, someone who has spiritual gifts.
But you have
a gift of discernment.
You have to call out the wrong. It doesn't mean that you are going to sit there and people disrespect you and you're just going to be like, oh, well. You have to.
I like that too. See, I'm getting lifted.
Remember what Jesus used to say? He'll be saying, woe unto you, the Pharisees. And he would tell them,
that what you're doing is not right.
Is wrong. So when something is wrong is wrong. You can't sit there and be nice.
You can't be a bystander to that.
I have been in situations where I know that this person is going to have to pay me. I'm going to have to issue an invoice to them at the end of the day. But if they're going to start come in, attacking my integrity, I take constructive criticism, but there is something that you can see. This is an attack.
Other things you can see that you're attacking it, and you take exception with it.
And then I call them out I take exception to how you are saying I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't appreciate being spoken to like that. You have to be upfront. And what I also...
But this goes beyond business as well. I mean, this is just like, I'm speaking relationships,
you have to put in the boundaries. If you don't want to talk to a person right now, you don't have to talk to a person right now. But always remember that at the end of the day, everything has to be centered around you being a person that when somebody needs you, you don't now look like you don't want to give help. If it's a person that you can't help, you tell them straight, sorry, I can't help you. Then they can send the text to the next person, as opposed to you leaving them on red.
I get what you're saying. I like what you're saying. Yeah, so that's, being at war with yourself. So what are some of we getting at war with ourselves so that we can break through to find ourselves, things like, more. I know I'm not saying it exactly the way. And then, like you were also saying, your purpose, when you find your purpose. I wanted to ask you, because I think there's people who watch it like, what if I don't have a purpose? Or what if, there's a lot of people who struggle, who say, well, I don't even know why I'm here.
I understand. It took me a while as well to understand what my purpose is, but the answer is always around you. Look at what you usually attract. Look at where you find yourself mostly. The spaces that you find yourself mostly. You might be a person that every time when they need, let's say in your family, every time they need an MC, you are the one. Every time they need somebody to come in and do a certain representation, you are the one. Your purpose is found in there. You are a leader. You are a person that is able to bring unity and bring people together. Or when you speak, people can listen to you. And with that, you are able to find out that actually, I'm a good speaker. Actually, it's there's something in my tongue. There's a whispering strength that I blurt out when I open my mouth.
I love that. I love that. Okay.
It's really about finding yourself, looking back and say, actually, they always want me at the front.
Yeah.
You could be that person that's always trying to hide, but you will be within the crowd. You'll be taken out and you stand out.
Yes, I hear
so that
you.
standing out has something to do with your purpose. What are you standing out to do?
Yeah. So now, what about your views on the fact that people avoid doing difficult things?
Yes. Okay, maybe let's start here. Yeah.
Because even with me, like what I was saying to you, because I'm asking you these questions, it's coming from a place.
Yeah.
I'm not a confrontational person.
Yes.
So maybe, like you're saying, I need to drop my ego, because that is me. That is I'm owning my ego when I say that I don't want to confront people when I know that I should say something.
You should say something. And that's
it's like I don't want to do the difficult thing, so I'm actually cowering.
Yes, yeah. Actually, you are hiding and you are not showing up as your authentic self. And a lot of people, they hide themselves so that they can fit into a room, into a circumstance, into someone else's personality. So maybe let me start here. When you look at life, let's start with just
fitting in and all
fundamentals
that
of life.
stuff. Yes, okay.
When
We abandon ourselves to fit in.
Yes.
And those things.
So when it comes to life, there's two things, right? I believe that we've been made as human beings and we are whole, and we have been made to come in and really experience life for its fullness. However, what we do as human beings, we seek one dimension. The one dimension is the happy, it's the good, it's the great moments, it's the celebration, it's the success. We're always looking out and seeking for that. That's
Instagram.
That's what
AKA
we're seeking for. Yes, that's what we're seeking for.
Dopamine.
Yes. However, we have robbed ourselves, or let me just put it in this way, the way in which we understand or we have positioned life to work is in that dimension.
Yes.
And therefore, we have not looked at the other dimension of pain, of suffering, of all these other things. Life as life, you are going to experience both. You're going to experience the good and you're going to experience the suffering, the shattering, the breakage, because life works with seasons. You cannot expect to be in one season all the time. Everything is working the way that you want it. Everything is going according to your plan. There is going to be a time, because also if you look at life, they're saying there is two things are certain: life and taxes, death and taxes.
Death and taxes, yeah.
So if we are certain that death is going to happen, and death comes in a lot of ways. End of a marriage can be death. End of a relationship can be death. End of a job can be death. And death as in like with us as people, as mortal beings. So there is going to be a death somewhere.
Wow. An ending is sure, for sure.
It's sure.
Yeah, because
it's painful.
Is the only constant thing in life.
Exactly.
Things can never be the same.
So we've got
we want things to be the same.
We want this happiness. Unfortunately, that's not how life works. At some point you're gonna experience grief, you're gonna experience loss, you're gonna be crushed, you're going to lose, you're gonna be embarrassed, you're gonna be ashamed. But the one thing that I want to encourage everyone on is that I'm not saying when a pain comes in, when all these things happen in your life, it means that you must be ready for it, because you don't know. You don't know how death is gonna affect you. You don't know how you're gonna act. But what we need to understand as people, the same way that we know happiness, that when I get this degree, I'm gonna do a party. Yeah. We know how to address and live out the effects of happiness. But on the other side, when it happens, we want to commit suicide. When it happens, we want to feel like no, life is done. Why don't we take that blueprint of happiness and we copy it in the blueprint of suffering, of pain? Because and the one thing on it is that you have got to know that you've got a fighting chance of getting out of it. The same way that you know that when I finish this degree, I'm going to celebrate. When you are going through a pain, I don't care what, but you must always get into it that I've got a fighting chance of getting out of it. Yes. And like I said, you never know how it's going to affect you. But if you can take that blueprint, if you can take your mindset and you shift it into that and you copy it in that, there'll be less suicides. There'll be less hopelessness. People are walking around hopeless because they feel like this is the only thing in my life that was going to take me to the other side. And now that it's no longer there, my life is over. It's not. It's actually probably the beginning of the most beautiful discovery of yourself, because at the end of it, you will rediscover your strength. You will have a different kind of power within you. And maybe the message that I was trying to say about this is that when I look at my life, when I look at
when you're going through something,
things that I've gone through, and then I look at the person that I am now, I'm so grateful for that. You know, I'm so thankful for
I love the message.
Worst things that have happened to me. I'm grateful for people that rejected me. I'm grateful for all those things, because there was a seed that was inside of me. Had I sat in a comfortable position or being happy the way that I was, I would not have rediscovered the seed. And that's why I always say that seed, that storm, that rain, that darkness, it needed to come in to water the seed so that it can germinate into the person that you are meant to be. So you must always look at pain and suffering in that manner. And I'm not saying let's embrace pain. Let's go around saying, oh, I also need to get pain. No.
Yeah.
But we must just know that it's there. And
I
it's
love
part
what
of
you're
life.
saying. No, I love what you're saying, ma'am, because you know what? One of my favorite interpretations of scripture, being a woman of faith myself, is a lot of the times where we will say, you know, yo, God, please, can you give me strength? Is God going to give you strength, or is he going to give you a situation to strengthen you? So that's the thing.
You said
and that's
it.
what you're saying.
You said it.
And so now, because I think when we were talking about, you know, you mentioned that, like, I think that's one of your things to say, how do you behave when you're in that season? This is what you're talking about. You are saying to the people, you are going to go through a dark season, my people. You are going to go through a dark season. Hello, how are you? This is life. It's not personal to you. You are going to. We all do. Now, during that time, are you going to sit there and be, this is what I am getting from you, and this is you empowering me. When you're going through this, are you going to sit there and be like, oh, my God is against me? Or are you going to say, okay, I've been praying to God for strength. This is me. This is my time to get strong. Because he's brought this circumstance where things are falling apart, but I need to keep it together. You know, or whatever. I'd like to say, whether you believe in God or Allah or whomever, you know.
Yes.
But
so you, and speaking about scripture, one of my favorite ones, it's one that says, in life there will be trials and tribulations, but take heart, I've overcome the world. So the trials and tribulations will come there. But the biggest message there is overcoming. Amen. You are gonna overcome. You get what I mean? So that situation, no matter how bad it looks, unless if you really, really give up for yourself, that's why you have to fight. That's a season to fight. Absolutely. That's a season to mirror yourself and look at the woman or man in the mirror and say, who am I? Who am I? What am I supposed to be learning out of this? And there's certain things that I know, had I not gone through hardships, I wouldn't know this version of myself. I understand. Right now, I know if something happens or something goes on, yes, I panic. Yes, I get scared. But I know that it's not the end. Yeah. As opposed to a person that's sitting there at the end of their rope and saying, what is the point of living? What is the point of even trying? There is a point in trying because there is a new strength that you're going to get out of that situation. So it's part of doing those hard things. And maybe talking about the hard things, I learned this through, I think it's Fred Swen. I think it's a thing by Fred Swenica. I learned about him on a conference for leaders, on a leadership conference at my former employer. And the first time I heard about it, his message was, I think he was one of the speakers online, because he's based in the US, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's not South African based. He's a global author and speaker. Okay. He said, use the privilege that you have to do the hard things. It was more of a leadership conversation, but I took it down to my own life. What I got out of there was that in life, you're going to have to do the hard things. If you are in a situation where you are still chasing and you still have desires to be a better person, to succeed, in order for you to get to that, the in-between from where you are to that success, that process is the hard things. The hard things, and it's a reckoning that starts with very small things. If you told yourself that this week, I want to crush my goals, I want to make sure that my project milestone are being reached, there are certain things that should be non-negotiables in your life. We negotiate ourselves out of our own very goals. The one thing that we need to learn is to be accountable to ourselves. Be accountable to you first before you can be accountable to another person. Because when you're accountable to yourself, there is no gratification and sense of achievement and fulfillment that you can get from starting your own goal and nobody knows about it and you achieve it. And that discipline. Yes. Because remember, most of the time when we achieve certain things, it's because we know that, oh, this person knows about it. Somebody's asking, oh, how's that weight loss going? And you're like, oh, let me wake up. But when you do it for yourself and you sufficiently achieve it. So the first thing is to be accountable to yourself in doing the hard thing. The second thing is to stop, and you must have non-negotiables. There's certain things that if you say, I need to lose weight by the end of the year, you can't negotiate yourself to stay in bed when you have to go to the gym.
When you know that it's 5 a.m., it's time now.
It's time. The way that you act has to show.
Yes.
The night before, you packing your gym bag, you're doing this, you're doing that. It shows that you've got a mission to get into, and it's already preparing you. So we negotiate ourselves out of our very own missions, and then when we end up at the end of the day with nothing to show, we start blaming our circumstances. We blame the government. We blame people. We blame our upbringing. We say, but I'm from Sosha, there's no employment. Dilo aditlhakane, who blind. So have non-negotiables when it comes to you. So
excuses.
Yes. So like I said, the first one will be self-accountability.
Yeah.
The second one would be have non-negotiables. And then you need to be able to get to a point where you are comfortable with being at war with yourself. When
mastery, guys.
When you can sit
we
there.
Ending it. We closing it, guys. We closing it now. We're wrapping it up. Are you hearing? This is self-mastery.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you can sit there and be comfortable with the fact that, you know what, I'm at war with myself. I'm doing the things that I don't want to do. Because at the end of the day, you have to do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. You cannot be the type of person that's always doing what they want to do.
Preach.
You're always doing whatever you want to do. You want to take a nap, you're taking a nap. You want to quit, you want to quit.
Yeah.
Don't you have a bigger mission?
Yes.
And lastly, it's that bigger mission.
Yes.
You need to understand that it's not only about you.
Yes.
If you don't get to these things,
yes.
There is a destiny of somebody else that you're getting stuck. With being an entrepreneur and also owning my own business, if I don't get business, how am I going to feed another? How am I going to pay another person? And that person depends on this to feed their family. So your
friends and your family,
make it a bigger
by
mission
your decisions
and
as well.
not only about you.
Exactly.
Because we make all these things
when
about
you're sad,
us.
they become sad.
That's the thing. You can't say I don't want to get out of bed because I didn't. My relationship is falling apart.
Yeah.
You make it a bigger mission. When you've got a bigger mission and it's outside of yourself, and you understand that actually
the best thing you can do for me is take care of yourself.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
And also it's not about you only. You are on assignment. There is an assignment about this thing that you're doing, and if it crashes, destinies that you're
so
also
you don't
stopping.
let the team down. You might not see it, but
you might not see. Thank you.
I get you. You might not see it, but
got me.
I get you.
You got me,
guys.
Yeah,
it's been amazing. We're gonna wrap it up right now because our time has obviously come to a close. I've had a fabulous discussion with Ms. Boitumelo, and as you can see, we could go on for hours because I don't know if you've said everything that you wanted to say, but I'm going to give you the last, chance to end it off. From my side, guys, Ms. Boitumelo is going to close it off for us. But from my side, I just want to say thank you for all the support. It's been an amazing season, and I can't wait to see you guys season 2. Please stay tuned. Please subscribe. Please keep running the numbers up. Please send suggestions of topics that you'd like to hear about, guests that you might want to see. But season 2 is definitely happening. It's on its way. It's already bubbling. So I'm very, very excited. So, Ms. Boitumelo, are there any parting words that you want to give to us, or anything that you might have, left out that you really feel like the people need to hear? No matter what, today when I go, I must make sure that I say this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I really hope that our conversation has encouraged, even if it's 1 or 2 or 3 people.
I think it will.
To believe that
more than one. I think more than one.
To believe that transformation is possible. 1, that you can rise, and unapologetically so. You can reclaim your strength that you had abandoned. Pick it up by picking yourself up. I also want to say and encourage whoever's listening or watching that invest in the things that nobody can take away from you. Invest in your self-development, personal development, your wellness, and reinvest in relationships that matter.
Yes.
And those are the things that nobody can take away. If you're educated, you can discard me, but I still got my certificate.
My talent. That's what I keep telling them, for sure. Like, guys, your job can they can retrench you, whatever, but it's your talent.
Nourish your talent.
It's yours.
And what I also, in closing, I want to say that and this is something that I got from one of the, I love authors and speakers. She's an American lady, Lisa. I can't remember her surname. Mm-hmm. She says, choose what seeks you. Mm. And I want to add to it, go where you grow and nourish that.
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, guys. This was absolutely powerful. Guys, go to what is calling you. Yes. Go to what is, like what you said earlier, like what is around you. Look around you. Where do you find yourself? Go in that direction and go to what grows you. Things that actually make you feel uncomfortable, guys. That's what we're talking about. Stepping outside of your comfort zone. A place where you think, oh, after this, I've actually changed. I've actually grown. I learned something. Step into that. And yeah, guys, it's been amazing. It's been powerful. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
This has been the most amazing way to close off the season, because I feel like our conversation is such a great encapsulation of what I really think this podcast is about. Whether we talk about music, whether we talk about business, whether we talk about, but really we're talking about ourselves, because we are everything. We are everything to ourselves. So, guys, whatever blockages you are having in your life, dig deep, look within yourself, and let's start making those changes. Let's start being accountable to ourselves, not to your mom, to your dad, to yourself.
Yep.
Because it's the promises that you make to yourself that you break that keep you stuck. So let's get started, guys. Thank you so much. See you in season 2.
Woohoo!
Bye.